And yes, we are back. Shout outs to us for making it back. You, all of us. And I messed up. I messed up my overlay, and I was just like, man, forget it. I'll have to fix it when I have the energy to fix it. So I'm gonna just go back to the classic. So here we are, Diablo 4. Official news updates on class loadouts. I have no idea what that means. Early access time and in-game loot versus the shop. The shop apparently is supposed to be steered towards cosmetics, so we will see what that entails. But there obviously has to be some kind of incentive to spend money more than that. So I'm probably thinking mount skin. I don't know, mounts. Like better mounts, maybe pets that loot, or extra storage, or some like quality of life storage. Like it has to be something with storage because there's not too many faculties in the game that you would want to actually like pay for. I feel like you can't pay for extra loading time, so whatever. I mean, better loading time. So we'll see what it's all about. Let's go.
It's a new day, which means more Diablo 4 news and updates for you all with new responses from the dev team about one of the most highly requested features from the community right now, loadouts. We're going to talk about it. And early access times for launch have been revealed by Blizzard. Here's when you can actually start playing the game. Plus, will the Battle Pass and Cosmetic Shop take away from the loot dropped in-game? We have an interesting response about this one as well. Also, the beta proved that there's some major balancing issues between classes. We'll dissect why this could be based on what appears to be Diablo 4's volatile development. So yeah, let's dive straight into this. So guess what just happened? Some major news just dropped from Blizzard about when you can actually start playing the game if you pre-ordered through the Deluxe Edition or Ultimate or Standard Editions. So check it out. I'm going to further break this down in more details. This, oops, I was wrong. Early access for Deluxe and Ultimate pre-orders in the US is Thursday 6/1 at 4 p.m., 6/2 at 12 a.m. and so on and so forth. But we need to break this down better. We need actual time zones and this to be a little bit more structured for
6/1,
huh? So here this is right here. Check it out. You can pause the screen. You can see the North America early access times for, of course, the Deluxe and Ultimate editions. And then we get into South
The only time that matters is EST, bro. I'm just letting you guys know.
America, Europe, and Asia, and Australia early access period.
Okay,
what about Standard Edition? So here that is
any other time
here.
zones.
If you're curious for North America and beyond, what you can expect and when you can expect to start playing Diablo 4. So hopefully that helps you out. And let me know which version you actually pre-ordered if you just couldn't.
Real fast, why are there even time zones in America? Like, I mean, 8 o'clock in Georgia, 8 o'clock in California, 8 o'clock in Texas. Does it really change anything that it's 8 o'clock at the same time? I feel like I feel like it wouldn't, but whatever.
To get those 4 days early access.
Just we keep lagging in real life,
like,
whatever.
Hell no, I'm gonna go with Standard Edition. Kind of curious. Post a comment down below. But yeah, let's get into the questions to the dev team. First one to Rod Ferguson himself. It says this: are we going to have the armory to save our loadouts? That would be valuable to flip between builds and gears. The respec feature is normal to have, but should be a way to experiment with new builds. I wouldn't want to create 4 wizards so each can use one build. Great point. As we know right now, we really want this feature. It was in, of course, Diablo 3. As you can see right here, you have the option of like a Firebird loadout that you can load up, very quickly, and you had 5 different options that you can flip between based on the scenario. Now, the official response from Rod Ferguson is this right here: not at launch. It is not an outright no. That is great news. So to me, that tells me that loadouts would be coming to Diablo 4 eventually post-launch. Just hoping they don't take too long about that. Now, also, there are some worries from the community as voiced here by the Angry
Not at
Taco.
launch.
He says, I'm super worried that the addition of paid cosmetics will limit how cool the in-game loot will look to entice people to buy extras. Is there anything you could say to alleviate such a concern? Can you show an example of some in-game items that can be simply looted. And the response was right here from community manager of Diablo 4, Adam Fletcher himself, who says, we have a blog post on this. Images are towards the end with some examples, and of course, the examples that people saw during the open beta.
Yeah, I actually like, I mean, even though the open beta just was to go off of, I thought my character looked pretty good at all times, no matter what they had on. It was mostly about preference since you can transmog anything anyways. So, I mean, to me, it was like whatever was cool, I'm just gonna transmog them on my character. I don't really feel like, I mean, I feel like that the art, it was fine. I really honestly felt like it was pretty good. So, I mean, I think that guy is just a little antsy, just a little bit.
And if we get into the actual blog post, and I'll get into the image examples here as well, I go on to say this right here. It says, the best looking cosmetics aren't exclusive to the shop. Diablo 4 will ship with hundreds of transmogs unlockable from drops in-game, including dozens of armor sets of the highest visual quality. There are incredible pieces, unique and legendary quality items for players to...
Yeah, like I can't wait to see what it like the highest quality of like a helmet looks like. It's gonna be like, God damn, that's a good helmet.
Find without ever going to the shop. The shop offers
helmeting.
More diversity of choices.
He's helmeting right now.
Not systemically better choices. I'm still a little apprehensive of this though, despite this explanation. They did provide us with some examples. They didn't say exactly which one is from the loot pool.
Like, so if I had to choose, I like the purple, but I would like the helmet more. And that just kind of goes to show, like, I thought for my character looked fine for a level 25 druid or level 20 druid, level 10, 1, whatever, doing what he could do to save Sanctuary. I thought he looked pretty good.
In game, which would be from the shops, but I'm still a little bit apprehensive here about this.
I don't like that personally. I don't like that either personally. I'm not really big into, I don't like gore. I don't know, gorish armor unless it's like exclusive to the gloves or boots. But I feel like chest piece can look so cool. I just like an old fashioned, like chiseled, sharp built chest piece. That's not like, that's something like a necromancer or some undead type probably vibe with. And this is kind of too Lando Calrissian, Star Warsy. Like this is like something someone is wearing who's about to get blasted as soon as they come on screen. Like this is like the costume of an extra. Like someone you just see down the hallway. They just get shot from far away. And you're like, who's that? Who? What was that?
This actually affecting the loot pool that would be offered.
This is kind of too, I don't know. Nah. Something more prestigious looking. This looks kind of like, it's like the test version of something amazing. But I do like how it looks on them. The belt buckle's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of that's kind of hard. I like this more than I like this. Gloves or whatever. The crown is the Wakanda crown. That's kind of cool. I like the pelt too. The pelt. Ooh, the pelt. Yeah, give me the pelt with this. The pelt with the bull belt. Oh my gosh, bro.
In game, of course, but there are some really cool looking armor pieces. It just doesn't say, hey, this is gonna be in the shop / battle pass. This is what you're gonna find in game. I am so curious to see what happens when the community finally gets into this and dissects it as we go. Now, also, There was a follow-up here within the blog. It goes on to say this: armor transmogs in the shop are usable on all characters of that class.
That's good.
Many of the cosmetics in the shop are class-specific fantasies, which wouldn't necessarily make sense visually on other classes. Once you unlock a cosmetic from the shop for a given class, you can use it on every character of that class on your account. There are special cosmetic exclusives to the Battle Pass, which celebrate the theme of the season and look similar across all classes.
I like that. I think that's actually pretty fair, because I like it. I like it because that gives them reason to actually put effort into the season and having a theme. And the first space theme, it's gonna go crazy. There always has to be like a void or space theme. It's gonna go crazy.
So it is good to know. I will say that it is pretty much.
It's also one of the better aesthetics. Also in Path of Exile, the space, like the star celestial stuff, is so cool.
Count wide when it
came
comes
out years
to
ago.
your classes. So you go in, you buy whatever you want in terms of cosmetics, and you know, hey, I can use that on all of the rogues that I've created within my account, which is cool. It's just that it is going to be class specific. But yeah, it is noteworthy that you can share that between like all your rogues, for example. Now, here is one of the concerns from the community as well. I've seen this voiced out on Reddit and so forth. There's any chance of WSD movement support for keyboards?
Okay, this is fair. A lot of PC players prefer this, and I think this is fair. So I think that's an actual fair concern.
On PC. Sound off what you think about this. There are people that notice that are like, hey, yo, I've got carpal tunnel syndrome. I can't use the mouse as much. I need help here, Blizzard. Please do something about this. And the response is not at launch. So yeah, there it is again.
Not at launch.
Answer. I wish there was more to this, of course.
Not at launch.
That is telling us that yes, they are.
That's like the perfect PR answer. Hey, is there this thing that I really want in this game that it's not out yet? Yeah, not at launch. Thank you.
Are considering this, and honestly, I would expect some sort of WASD support. For those of you that really struggle using the mouse for reasons, it is a thing.
It is a thing.
Furthermore, we have this one right here. I know it's been said the next update is beta/in-game related info, but is there going to be an update that goes into detail on the Battle Pass/MTX?
Oh, the emojis, I love it.
Date info. Great question. And Adam Fletcher did
not at launch.
Saying, yeah, we plan talking about it more in depth. So I'm thinking that's going to be talked about perhaps in the upcoming post-beta live stream video that they plan to release here sometime in April. They said it would be April, but I still think it's going to probably be mid-April or late April. Then we have this one right
probably
here.
Late as possible.
Diablo 4 being rushed out unfinished. It's a clip from Osmongold where he's reacting to Stoops, and this guy, he says that he's heard from a little birdie that yes, the dev team feels like they need more time before they release this game, that they feel like they're kind of rushing it out. Now, that is, of course, hearsay and would be considered a rumor, but also you got to consider what happened with the balancing.
17 Hurricane, 17 Hurricane, 17 Hurricane.
A lot of people were shocked with how unbalanced a lot of the classes were. Now, of course, officially, the dev team said, hey, we're working on it. We're going to have a blog post about that one. But it got me curious, and I did some homework, and I found this article right here. Blizzard Entertainment reportedly forced to crunch to meet Diablo 4 release date. There's only 6 months to go before Diablo 4.
And that's how it goes. Unfortunately, shout outs to those at Blizzard who are crunching these 12+ hour shifts. Hey, I know it's not easy. And I don't even condone crunching. I'm just saying shout outs to you because I know some people are going to do it regardless. So I just really want to, shout out to the Blizzard staff who have to crunch for this game just to receive hella criticism at launch, no matter how good it is.
All
shout out to you guys.
June release date, of course. This was posted in early 2023. Now let's get into it and find out what has happened with the history of the development of Diablo, which to me explains a lot. It goes on to say this right here. It says, according to a report by the Washington Post, the Diablo 4 team is currently being forced to crunch with insufficient
I don't condone insufficient compensation. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't condone that at all. That that is not it. At least compensate. If you're gonna emotionally damage someone's life, at least compensate them. I feel like it's not fair, but I mean, at least compensate them for their soul, their mental, bro. That's all.
Compensation just so the studio can
At
meet
least do
the
that.
rumored June 5th release date of Diablo 4. The report details that employees aren't explicitly required to work overtime, but they are incentivized to do so. The said incentives include everything from DoorDash credits to company shares once Diablo 4
Ooh, company shares. Dang. Oh.
is out. However, the report adds that this hasn't been enough to prevent tenured employees from resigning.
Dang, if that's not enough, you know it's bad. I work in an office, bro, and I know it's politics, bro. I know there's literally there's several people there who could make the situation better, but because politics and they don't want to do the right thing, people are resigning. Dang.
Yikes. You don't want to be losing what I would consider to be veterans that would be very knowledgeable of what is going on with, of course, let's say class balance with Diablo 4. Furthermore, it goes on to say this. The report reveals that a 20-person team lost half of its members in a year and that some employees were told to look for another company after asking for a raise. Furthermore,
Dang, bro.
the report
this is actually kind of it's a bummer because it's like, yeah, battle pass and we're going whale hunting and we want all the extra money to games. It's like I feel like if Blizzard were to say the extra money were going to the people making the games so they could get a raise, I feel like it would actually make their PR better and people would actually probably buy the game more. Just off of, oh, I get to morally be correct this time. Maybe. Maybe not. But that's kind of lame. That's sad to hear.
Details that Blizzard later replaced the
It's really sad, bro.
experienced employees with entry-level hires. As a result, there's a lot of doubt whether Diablo 4 will not be delayed again. We haven't heard any suggestions officially that the game would be delayed beyond June. But we'll see how overwhelmed they are by the reports from the beta, by the feedback from the community. But yeah, I am very curious to see where this story goes. But also, on the flip side, you have to remember that Activision, they're thinking ahead. They're thinking into December, into the holidays. And what's going to be rolling around during that time is the big game of this year, Starfield. I know for a fact they want to get ahead of that, and they are pushing their team most likely to get the work done. All right, so let's go ahead and get into your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video, so let's do this. The most recent video was this one right here. It says Diablo 4. It's confirmed dev team's official response. Big features found, all new updates. Check it out on the channel if you did miss it. So let's get into the first response. Mark Ursley says this. Honestly, the one thing I really want them to add is more chat window options. As a former WoW player, being able to move it, resize it, change font size, and even make new tabs with only specific things in it, like let me make a new tab that only has a clan chat and whispers in it, so I don't need to look in different tabs to filter it down. So to me, based on the replies about what they're doing with clans, it sounds like a lot of the systems would be expanding post-launch. They're even considering things like raids for clans. So I think chat would be one of the things that they would hopefully expand upon. But again, they're also viewing this as like, this isn't an MMO right now. We don't want to make it seem like it's MMO, but I think they're going to, secretly implement stuff from WoW for you all. Now, Carter goes on to say this right here. As someone who works and would like to put some serious time into this game, the 4 days early access and allowing me to play all weekend is absolutely worth it. The beta was a lot of fun, and I never encountered any game.
Carter, my friend, out of those 4 days, you will not be playing the game. One of them, I can't tell you which day it will be on, but one of those days, the game will not be playable. Probably the first day, probably not, because of DDoSing and other stuff going wrong. I'm just letting you know, Carter.
Breaking bugs. So being able to get in and grind will be great.
I'm just letting you know,
Yeah, I
Carter.
saw this response a lot in my comments, and it's great to have that option. I just think that should be the standard, but that's just me. Seems like people are willing to pay for it, and if that's the case, these companies will always offer this. And in fact, I think we're going to see more and more of this intensify as time goes along.
My thing is, imagine where the gap ends. Now it's 4 days. Next time it'll be 1 week. And then they can be like, well, we're doing this so the game is good for everyone else. Don't you know?
Now, Alan Wayne says this right here. In terms of beta testing, the Diablo 4 beta was fantastic. I remember when betas give you like 5 to 15 minutes of gameplay, and that was the norm. I remember getting demo discs in the mail, like physical demo.
I remember playing Wind Waker on a demo disc, bro. I cannot believe how much of that game Wind Waker was on that demo. And Wind Waker turned out to be one of the best games ever. It's crazy how, like, that demo was crazy. Wind Waker's demo for GameCube was nuts.
Disc, and then desperately wanting
I would say it was probably like an hour
and not
too.
having the money,
Maybe
just
like
playing the
30 minutes to an hour.
Demo disc over and over again. That's what me and my twin bro did, and those were the days, let me tell you what. But yes, you're absolutely right. Betas have expanded so much. It was pretty incredible with the width and breadth of content that was actually available during this beta. It kind of blew me away. I was like, this is like an entire experience. What is going on here? But yeah, which is telling at how big the actual game will be. So that bit does get me a little bit excited. Just a little bit. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Diablo 4 news and updates and open world gaming goodness. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.
Pretty nice video. I didn't, like I said, I didn't really know or care about class loadouts, early access times, whatever. But it was nice to see the armors and stuff. But yeah, that's the video. You know the motto. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys watching. And tell someone you love them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Shoutouts to the Druid doing 17 damage. Peace.